Welcome to Why IACD Playbooks. This short video provides the rationale for why we believe that Integrated Adaptive Cyber Defense (IACD) playbooks can and should be used by organizations to improve their cybersecurity posture in a manner that scales to the current threat. The challenges are well documented. There is an ever-expanding interdependence between information, systems, and organizations. Protecting and defending your network and critical information has always been hard, but now there is no perimeter. You have to trust people and systems you don't manage, and you have to manage people and systems as if you don't trust them. Technology continues to advance and redefine the marketplace, whether you are ready to adopt it or not. Report after report highlights the significant lack of appropriately skilled personnel, the number of attacks and incidents missed because of alert fatigue, and the inability to implement new technologies and products in a timely manner. So how are we going to address the growing threat in an increasingly complex environment without an increase in resources or rapid adoption of new products and services? How can we accelerate the speed and scale of cyber defense if we can't change the current constraints? First, we leverage integration to make the most of every single product, application, and service that we have deployed, connecting them together to achieve more than anyone was designed to do on their own. Second, we optimize our limited human resources by automating that which is routine, repetitive, or well-defined. And third, we share what we learn when we learn it, making the most of limited analyst resources and allowing organizations to defend themselves against threats they have not yet experienced. Integration, automation, and information sharing are the pillars of IACD. All three are critical, and they are not independent capabilities by any means. Without integration, you cannot automate, and without sharing information, your automation can only respond to threats as you experienced them. You can't get ahead of the adversary. Automation is the force multiplier, and without it, no matter how much you integrate or share, you will not protect and defend your network at speed. So why don't more organizations use automation to improve their cybersecurity processes and improve the timeliness of their defenses? Maybe because most organizations treat automation as its own capability instead of a capability improvement mechanism. All organizational procedures exist as a combination of people, processes, and technology, and improvements to those procedures are a set of changes involving all three components. If you add technology, then the roles of people change as well as the processes. Thinking that you can just change one without understanding the effect on the others is usually a failed strategy. Automation is almost always thought of and treated as a technology upgrade to a current organizational capability, but people do not trust automation by default. Sometimes they're afraid of being replaced, so they sabotage automation efforts. Sometimes it is an honest concern about the problems that can arise if people are not involved in the decision-making process, so automation is limited by design. Even if an organization openly embraces automation, there is still an effect on the people because their roles and ultimately their jobs change, and you cannot automate what you have not defined. Automation requires clearly articulated rules or steps. What is the input? What does the logic apply to the input? What is the output? When does the process start and stop? All of these need to be unambiguously defined to employ automation. Automation is usually seen as a way to gain efficiencies, but you won't realize those efficiencies if you have to have people involved every step of the way, because you are unable to describe, yet alone implement an acceptable process. So, how do we bridge all three? How do we find a way to describe what we want to automate in a way that connects the people, the processes, and the technology? We developed IACD Playbooks to do exactly that. An IACD Playbook represents a general security process like clean a compromised device, enrich an alert, or manage accounts for a person who has left the organization. An IACD Playbook is general enough that it represents the process, regardless of level of automation. It shows what steps to take, not how to take them. It also highlights particular roles for human interaction, allowing you to move your personnel from in the loop to on the loop without losing sight of critical roles like approvals and authorizations. But all of this is done in a way that shows a path to automation. A playbook can be used to define critical processes, as well as identify organizational inefficiencies, missing capabilities, and opportunities for automation. Here's an example playbook on mitigating a compromised device. As you can see, a playbook is a set of process-oriented steps that enable an organization to meet the requirements specified in its policies and procedures. Playbooks are written for a human to understand, not a machine. For more information on what is in a playbook or how to create or use a playbook, please see our website. The purpose of this video is to explain why we believe organizations should build and use IACD playbooks. So to summarize, IACD playbooks capture business and operations-driven objectives, processes, and controls. They can be implemented at a completely manual level, but are intended to enable integration, automation, and information sharing at a pace appropriate to the organization. They provide a layer of abstraction from technology and implementation details. They are designed to persist, even if you switch tools, operators, or share within communities. Lastly, IACD playbooks ensure the conditions, indicators, and controls that drive the need for cybersecurity response are captured and therefore enable the environment's existing toolset to be orchestrated to monitor and execute the playbooks. Again, for more information about IACD or IACD playbooks, please see our website.